So it seems like we have a bit of drama between former WWE superstar Matt Riddle, and we also have Matt Riddle trying to beef with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, saying, oh, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are hard to work with. Now, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have been wrestling guys since 15, 20 years. And I don't think we've ever heard this one time. I don't think we've ever heard this one time that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are hard to work with. You know, maybe it's because you were wrestling with your feet out, which I honestly don't know why you do that. But it's really funny to me that Matt Riddle is talking from the outside in, given that he said he wants to be back in WWE. He wants to be back in WWE. He wants to come back, but you're saying stuff about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn that just are not true. Because if that was true, why are you the first person to say something in the 12 years that they've been in WWE? Nobody has ever really said that. Now, trust me, I'm not in the locker room. I don't know. I'm not out there having matches with them. But for Matt Riddle to say that they are hard to work with, I highly doubt that, given that he's the only person to ever say something like that. Now, it could be because if you're in WWE, they don't want you to add bad publicity about anybody in the company. But how are they hard to work with? Because if they were hard to work with, we wouldn't see them in the type of matches that they are. They wouldn't have the spotlight. They would be, like Solo Sikoa. They'd be like Tonga Loa. They would be like some of these guys that we rarely see on TV. If you guys haven't noticed, Fatu has been on TV more than Solo. So, I honestly think that Matt Riddle is hurting his chances of getting back into the WWE by saying this about two top stars that honestly nobody would agree with him with. So, with that being said, I honestly don't know if they really are hard to work with. Because if you think about it, there have been some guys that were hard to work with, and we don't hear about it until their departure, or we hear when whoever had the issue with them departed. That's usually when we, go on our separate ways, and now we can actually say everything that was on our minds and stuff like that. But if they were hard to work with, why are they still in WWE and you're in TNA? There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. And Riddle has been in a lot of, legal trouble, over the past couple of years. And I honestly don't know how you can say something about these two when all I've heard is good things from what certain people have said in interviews. I honestly think that Matt Riddle, like I've said maybe once, twice, maybe 3 times now, Matt Riddle killing his chances of getting back to the WWE, talking about two guys who aren't at the very top right now, but I look at Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as two of the top stars in WWE, outside of like the Romans, the Punks, the Cenas, the Codys. If we get into that second tier, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are at the top. They're at the top, and not even in the second tier. They're in the first tier. And if it wasn't for guys like Roman, Cena, Cody, I honestly think that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn would be at the top. But no, man. You've only been a United States champion and a tag team champion with someone who is arguably the greatest of all time, in my opinion, better than Cena. But I think that Riddle is just talking just to talk, just to give himself some relevancy. I don't think that this is really true because, like I said, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have both been very, very likable and talked about over the past 20 years that they've wrestled people. So I really don't know. I don't know. But we'll have to see when they disperse or when other wrestlers disperse that have wrestled Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But let me know what y'all think about Riddle's comments on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn down in the comments below. And I will see y'all on the next one. Deuces, y'all.